Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. The Athena Awards are coming up in mid-August. Well, what's the Athena Awards and should you buy a ticket? Let's find out in this edition of WJTS in.form. Joining me in the studio is Tonya Heim. Tonya is with Memorial Hospital, but she is a Jasper Rotarian.
Right.
And we also have with us Dan Collignon. Dan is with a German American, but he is also a Jasper Rotarian. Welcome to both of you to the show.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's start off. What is the Athena Awards, and why is the Rotary Club of Jasper involved?
The Athena Award is an award. It's an international award that was started by Martha Mertz to honor women who have achieved success in their career, who have had an impact on their community, and who have helped young women also achieve success, sort of giving them the hand up. And so it was started in the Jasper Rotary Club, actually 2011 probably was when we were talking about this first. The board was talking about what sort of events we could do to benefit the community. Dan had worked in a community that had an Athena event that was run by the chamber, but there was no requirement that the chambers run the event, so we looked into it from his suggestion and actually worked with the folks in Evansville because they've had an Athena event for a number of years. They were very helpful to us to get started, and it's been a great event for us.
The Athena Award is named after the Greek goddess,
right?
Of mythology. Okay,
right.
All right. So we at this point have the finalists. You had a pool of nominations, of which finalists were chosen. We won't know who the winner is until August 20th. Okay,
they're all winners.
They're all winners. Okay, yes. The recipient of the Athena Award.
Right.
Can you tell us who the five are? Is that something that we can release right now?
Yes,
who the finalists are? Okay, great.
Absolutely. We're very proud of our finalist pool this year. Darla Blasey is one of our finalists. She's been very active in the community for a number of years. She currently, I need to find my notes about this so I get this all straight about what they're doing now. She's Director of Community Development and Planning for the City of Jasper. But, you know, Darla has been involved in the arts. She's been involved in tourism. You know, she's a person who something needs to be done, she steps up and does it. So we're very excited to have her as a finalist. She's done some community work with the museum, the hospital gala committee, and she's also involved with the Sisters of St. Benedict. So she's had an impact in many areas. Nancy Eckerly is another finalist this year. She's been a finalist in a previous year, was renominated this year. She's the executive director of the Jasper Chamber. She's been in that position since 1987. So nearly everybody knows Nancy. Right. She's, through her role and also outside of that role, she's been involved in many projects in the community. She's been involved with Downtown Merchants projects. She's been involved with city projects. She's been on the Du Bois County Substance Abuse Council and is currently running for the Jasper City Council. And she and a group of women in the Jasper Chamber recently started the Women Empowering Women group, which has been a great group, really touched a nerve, I think, in this community. So Nancy's a great person to have on the finalist list. Ann Canese, owner of Chocolate Bliss. Of course, everybody loves chocolate, so God bless Ann for starting a chocolate factory in Jasper. But anyway, she's been very involved in the Jasper Downtown Merchants Association. She's chaired the Kids Appreciation Day several years in a row. She's not just a one-time person. She's also been on the hospital gala committee, has been on the chamber board, hometown competitiveness. So she's had a lot of areas of the community that she's touched and had a positive impact. Phyllis Ackerman is another finalist this year. She, along with her husband Raphael, actually took over her father's business sort of unexpectedly when her father passed away. And she was very instrumental in helping to grow that business into what it is today. Phyllis is retired, but she has been involved in the business of Ackerman Oil for many years, and they just recently celebrated their 50th year. So that's a lot of great accomplishments that she's had. Julie Duchess is our final finalist in this year's group. She's Vice President of Global HR at Kimball Electronics. She's held many roles at Kimball Electronics for over 40 years. I think she started out as one of those data punch card people.
Wow.
At Kimball.
Yeah, don't date her.
Oh, well, you know, she's been there 40 years. She was very, very young when she started.
Very young. Yeah.
Very young. But she's been involved in many areas of that company, and now in her HR role, even before she was named a vice president, as they would do explorations to decide, are we going to go into Thailand, are we going to go into Romania, are we going to go into Poland? She was one of those boots on the ground that was helping Kimball Electronics make those determinations. And then once a determination was made that yes, we're going to open a plant there, she and her team would go in and do those critical first hires. It wasn't Ron Tin, it was Jim Tin indicated that she has led much of the cultural integration that exists today in their global business. So she's been very instrumental in making sure that the Kimball culture that exists in Du Bois County also exists in Romania and Thailand and the other places they are. So she's had a very broad impact, not only locally but globally. So what a great group of women.
Yeah, I was going to say that is an excellent selection of women to be finalists, and the recipient will be
one of those.
And announced on August 20th.
Right.
So now I guess we're at the point where tickets are available or sponsorships are being looked at. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I'll let Dan talk about the sponsorships.
There's 3 levels of sponsorships. The first are the platinum level, which we restrict those to 3, and those companies stepped up in January when we restarted the process for 15. And those are Memorial Hospital, German American, and Kimball Electronics. And then we have silver level sponsorships. I'm sorry.
No, gold.
Gold level. And for that, it's your name is in the program, your name is on all media releases. It's predominantly released constantly with all press releases. And this year we have a long list of those. I need to check my notes to make sure we get them all proper. Springs Valley Bank and Trust, OFS, Matrix International, Kimball International, Matrix Integration, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
Kimball International, Master Brand, Stins, and Ackerman Oil Corporation. And then there's premium sponsorships. And right now we have SOARS, which is a program for women
leading
It's a,
women.
it's a leadership
women.
development program
Correct.
for young female leaders.
Old National Bank, the town of Ferdinand and the Ferdinand Chamber of Commerce, they split a table. Freedom Bank, Jasper Group, Jasper Engines, VUJC, Indiana Furniture, Service, WBDC, WITZ, and Farbest Foods. And for all those sponsorships, you get a table of 8 for that event.
Are sponsorships still available? I
Yes.
guess if someone wanted to still buy a table, they
Right.
can, obviously.
Right, the sponsorships are still available. To get full benefit of the sponsorship, we need those done probably by the end of July when the program goes to print.
If not,
Table
you just don't get
sales.
listed.
Yeah, we'll announce you that night.
Yeah.
If you wanted to buy just a table or single tickets, you can do that up to around August 10th.
And if somebody wants to do that, if somebody wants to get involved, buy a ticket or get a table, what do they do?
They need to call me. Well, actually, there's a couple of ways they can do it. Jasper Rotary has a website. It's very simple, www.jasperrotary.com. Just spell it out. And there is a picture of last year's group of finalists on there, but there are links to all of the documents. There's a document that explains what you get for each level of sponsorship. There's another document that you can fill out and send in for your sponsorship. Okay. There's another document that you can fill out and send in for tickets. Okay. And there's an address and everything is on there. So that's one way that you can do it. The second way is to call me, either with my cell phone, which is 812-630-5124, or my office phone, which is 812-996-0500. Okay. Probably have to leave a message. I'm often scheduled in a meeting, but I'll get back to everybody that calls because we don't want to miss anybody to give them an opportunity to attend.
And the third way, you can just reach out to any Rotarian.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
And they'll be able to relay the message and get tickets to you.
Now, this is a fundraiser
Correct.
for the Rotary Club, but you also split with the recipient's charity of choice. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, we decided right away when we started this, and this is where our Athena event is different than many other Athena events. It's a fundraiser for the club, but we decided early on that we wanted part of the net proceeds to go to the charity of the recipient's choice. And then the rest of the proceeds go to the club signature charity, and then there's a small portion of it that goes to Rotary International, which pays for polio eradication is their primary focus right now. Our signature charity for the Jasper Rotary Club is TRICAP. That's a 3-year thing. Our first signature charity was the Guadalupe Center in Huntingburg. We were able to buy some laptops for them to do some English as a second language, to do some job search skills, and also some immigration assistance there. This next 3 years, this year and the next 2 years after this, it will be TRICAP.
Okay, and then the other half, we don't know yet because we don't know who the recipient is.
But in the past, it's went to Mentors for Youth, it's went to Junior Achievements, and then last year it was Crisis Connection.
Okay.
So the previous recipients have chosen those charities.
I think that's a great way to do that, to split that fundraising.
Right, and you know, we have women that people will approach them and say, hey, I want to nominate you for that. Many women are humble and they don't, oh no, I don't want the attention,
Right.
Don't nominate me. But a real good reason for them to allow themselves to be nominated is because it's a way that they can give a significant donation to a charity that's near and dear to their heart.
Now, why should somebody buy tickets? Why should someone go and support this event?
Well, I personally
Probably
think,
multiple
you know,
reasons.
You know, and Dan and I can probably both speak to this. You know, I think number one is because of the charity. It's a charity fundraiser is what it is. So you know that all the money is going to go to charity. It's either going to go to eradicate polio, it's going to go to TRICAP, or it's going to go to the charity of choice of the recipient. So that's a really good reason. Second reason is to honor the finalists. Because they're all women who have had an impact in the community, and just to be there to honor them, I think, is another reason to buy tickets. And another reason, it's a great meal. It's a fun evening.
Yeah, all right. That always makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few events in the DuBois County community that focuses on women. That's another reason to attend.
It's also a good time to go and just talk to people, to be
Yes.
around and network with people and be around people
Absolutely.
that are all of like minds.
Yeah, and you know, like Dan said, it's one of the few events that focuses on women. Another thing that sort of sets this event apart is how the recipient is selected, because it's purely based on a nomination form from the community. There's not a committee that sits around and says, oh, you know, why don't we put this person on the list and that person on the list? There's a nomination form that has to be filled out, and and the selection is based purely what's on the form. Even if all of us on the committee know that person and know that, wow, they didn't include that on the form or that, you know, other things that we know they did, our selection is based what's on the nomination form. So it's really from the community. It's someone in the community that wants to focus on and honor a woman, and it's based on that person's accomplishments that are documented in that nomination form. So that's a little different than many of the processes from other selections.
You know, August 20th, we'll know the recipient. Is it too early now to be thinking of nominating for next year?
No.
It's never too early to start thinking of the nomination process. The committee starts in January, setting the date, finding a keynote speaker, which we haven't talked about yet. But in April, we open it up for solicitation of nominations. But the nomination form is always out there on our website.
Okay.
It doesn't change from year to year. That way, it's a fairly consistent process.
Right.
And it's not a short application. I mean, it's...
Got to put some thought into
You
it.
put a lot of thought into it.
It takes some time. We often have letters of support. You know, it takes some time to contact those people, get them to write a letter, get it in, include it in the packet. So,
I mean, it's a compilation of your work resume, your volunteerism, and then how you've assisted women at reaching their potential. So it's a process that you can't just do overnight.
Okay, now, Dan, you mentioned a keynote speaker.
Yes.
And who is the keynote speaker? Or can that be even said?
Tonya, you want to handle this one?
Yeah, I will. Linda White is our keynote speaker this year. We've had some great speakers each year. Linda is the president and CEO of Deaconess Health System in Evansville. She is a former Athena recipient. So that was a great connection for us. Linda has been very active in the Evansville community. She's been with Boys and Girls Club. She's been, I probably have notes about Linda in here too that could, I don't want to miss something about her. She is YMCA, United Way of Southern Indiana, Metropolitan Evansville Chamber, American Heart Association, Leadership Evansville, Operation City Beautiful, Art Crisis Nursery, Junior League of Evansville, and I'm sure that's a short list.
A lot, yes.
Because she's been in the Evansville community for many years. I've known Linda for a long time because she's a nurse. I'm a nurse, so I'm real proud of her accomplishments. And she started out there, I'm not sure what her initial nursing role was, but she was promoted to the chief nursing officer position, then the president of Deaconess Hospital, then later the president of Deaconess Health System. So she has an influence on healthcare in really all of Southwest Indiana and Southeast Illinois and Northern Kentucky. So,
well, now is the time to buy
she's going to be
tickets.
a great speaker. Yeah, absolutely.
And they should contact you or a Rotary member or go to the website. It's probably the easiest thing to do.
Right.
You can either buy a table, be a sponsor, or buy an individual ticket as well.
Right.
Correct.
Anything else you'd like to add?
You know, I think
your
that
tickets
pretty
now.
much covered it. Yeah, we really hope we have a big crowd. We've been, we do have a couple things I see on here we want to talk about.
Oh,
with
yes.
the Girl Scouts
Some new things this
involvement.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have some new things. We have Girl Scouts involved this year, and we're real excited to have that because they are our future leaders. And they're going to be handing out programs. We have a gift that is from Crisis Connection that every attendee will get, and the Girl Scouts will help us hand those out. They're going to escort the finalists to their table. They're going to be very involved this year, so we're real excited to have some young women be present. We also have another sort of youth connection that we have this year. We talked about SOAR a little bit ago. Each SOAR class puts on something called Young Women Lead, which is for high school girls, and it's another women giving a hand up, you know, from generation to generation. And so this year in the Young Women Lead Conference, we gave a couple of door prizes. So we have a couple of the Young Women Lead participants who will be attending along with their guest this year.
Neat.
So we're excited to have that connection. And then another thing new this year is Debbie Schmidt. I think she's from Ireland. Is
I
it
believe
not?
so.
20-year Navy veteran, has been deployed to a war zone. She's going to be leading the pledge during the flag ceremony. The Girl Scouts will do the flag ceremony, but we have a female veteran that will be doing the pledge. So I think that we're very proud to have her be a part of that. We always have a female clergy to do the invocation. We try to target female businesses to do parts of, you know, what we need done for the event. So,
Sounds like a great event coming up that you've
Yeah.
got well planned and well set up.
we have a great committee and have done a lot of work, and we're looking forward to the evening.
Okay. August 20th is the Athena Awards. If you would like to have a ticket or would like to have a table, please contact the Rotarians of Jasper right away and get your reservation in. Thanks to our guests, both members of the Jasper Rotary Club, Dan Collignon and Tonya Heim. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.